Hi everyone, welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. Today I'm just doing a pour over a piece that I didn't particularly like. So I've decided to cover it with some of the Eraldo di Paolo black paint, which I mixed with Australian Floetrol, and I used a bit of water today too, just to thin it out a bit more. But I'm using up all these pinks that I've got, and the paints that I've had mixed up for a long time, sitting on the shelf. So I haven't checked them for their consistency or anything. I'm breaking all the rules today. So I'm going to do a bit of a Dutch pour blowout or a hairdryer blowout, and going to put down the paints in sections. I saw Canella Sirocco do this recently, where she did various shades of the same color. I thought, wow, I'll just try that using up some of my paints. So I'm just going to give it a go. I haven't put the paints in really any particular order. There's some opaques, there's some metallics, there's some dark, some light, a bit of a mixture of everything. So I've just divided them into 3 groups of 4. And then I'm going to top them off with my favourite pink, which is the Mont pouring paint Shiraz, and some gold, and a little bit of Eraldo metallic pearl. So yeah, it's a bit of everything. So we'll just see what actually ends up happening. I have no idea. So sometimes it's just great to experiment and just use up, some of the paint that you've got that you've had sitting around for a while. So I might actually also put a little bit of the Amsterdam, not the oxide black, the lamp black cell activator last of all, I think, just to help create some cells, just for fun. Okay, so I've already laid down my black paint, as you can see. So I'll just tell you the colours as we go. So this is the Mont Satin Rose Madder, which I really love. So I'm just going to come about to there. And then on top of that, I'm going to put the Eraldo Metallic Fuchsia. These paints are a little bit thin for a Dutch pour. Oh, sorry, a bit thick for a Dutch pour, but that's okay. Now the Global Magenta. That's the benefit that Canella has, that she mainly just does Dutch pours, so she can keep all her paints mixed up at that consistency, and it does make things a lot easier. This is Global Fuchsia. Okay, now my next stripe, I've got the Global Metallic Fuchsia. So I'll try and do a stripe about there. Then the Mont Satin Pink. Followed by Eraldo Metallic Magnolia, which is a beautiful colour, shift colour. And then Mont Signature Carmine, which I've mixed with titanium white at some point. Now we've got the Eraldo Magenta with a bit of Reeves in it to give it a bit of sparkle. That Reeves really does make it sparkle. And that's the Reeves Iridescent Medium. When you mix that with your paints, really, really does make them sparkle. It's beautiful. And then Eraldo Pinky, which isn't my favourite pink, I've got to say. Followed by the Metallic Magenta, and I apologise for the noise in the background. My elderly neighbour's having his lawn mowed. Always happens just when I'm about to start doing something. But that's life. Metallic Pink Mont, which is a nice light pink. Looks quite thick as well. Now over the top of all this, I'm going to be putting the Eraldo Metallic Pearl. So that's a white the whole way over. And then the Mont pouring paint Shiraz. Who would have thought I have this many pinks? The truth of the matter is I've got about that many of every shade. Too much paint, but I do love my paints. And next is Mont Pouring Paint Gold. So I'm just going to do that in a bit of a swizzle like that. So that with some parts it'll have more gold this way than that way. Yeah, I don't think I'll do any wispies. I might add some flowers maybe if I decide that I want to put something else on there. So, oh, I was going to put a little bit of the oxide black on, sorry, the, what's the other black? Lamp Black. Cell Activator just down the middle as well. Just a drizzle. Don't want to put too much. Be interesting to see if that does help to create cells when I blow out. Haven't put that much on there though. Okay, now will I put a little bit more, I just put a little bit more of the black paint along the edge here just to help it to flow, just in case I haven't got my paint deep enough. I think this black still isn't quite as thin as it needs to be, but anyway, we'll give it a go. Won't know till I try, will I? And then you guys will know as well. You'll either know what to do or what not to do. I do love working with a black base these days, so I've got to say. And I'm so tempted, and I think I will. Just going to put a bit of the Pouring Masters Ready to Pour Violet Interference. It just goes great against black when it dries. So I'm just going to put a row of that either side. I've nearly run out of it actually. I need to order some more. It actually comes out of the States, the Pouring Masters. So for those of you in the US, it's quite easy to get. For us, it's quite expensive. It's just bursting the bubbles. Now I've got my hairdryer, which I'm going to hold upside down so that the handle won't get in the way. And I'm going to put it on cool and on high. I'll start it on slow speed. We'll just see how much it's going to move. I might have to put it on high. And I'll start in the middle here. Start on low. Now some pretty cells there. Might go a bit higher speed. Well, that's really pretty. Got a lot of black. I think it was the way I hit the paint. I probably didn't just watch to see where I was hitting. You need to, when you've got a row of paint like that, you need to watch where you're hitting with the heat, with the dryer, and that you're just picking up the coloured paint, not the black. In this case it was black before it, because otherwise then you're pushing that black over your paints. So you just need to hit your heat dryer right on the line of colour and then push it out. So I think that's why I've got so much of the black there, because I'll have to watch my video back and I'll see. But lovely cells here. You can't really tell that I started off with what colours I started off with, because they were all sort of a mixture of dark and light. That's great. Loving what I've got going on here. It's very, very pretty. So I'll just hit it with the heat tool to burst any bubbles, and it'll also help to bring up any more cells. I think this white here will be that interference colour, which will really show up once it dries. It's hard to see it. At the moment it looks white, but I think it will give me that interference colour once it dries. Beautiful veins of gold. Do I need to touch anything? Maybe. I always like to do just a little bit of modification. Something I've done for a long time with Dutch paws. Just haven't done a Dutch paw for a while. So I'll just take my skewer here, and I'm just going to run them in. Just like that. Just make it look more bloom-like. I'm really loving this little patch here, so I'm not going to touch that. Not liking this one as much, but shouldn't have favourites. Okay, I think this is going to dry really nicely. Certainly very pretty. Always tempted to do just a little bit on the corner, but it'll probably be too much. Now I've just got to make sure that I wipe my edges, and that I also put this somewhere level to dry, so that I don't end up losing the whole pattern off. I think I just need to blow that out a little bit there though. Let's try and blow that out by mouth, or I might blow it with a straw actually. It's a bit better. I think I'll just about leave everything else as is. This is my favourite bit, and that one up there too. A couple of little blobs there. Just going to do a little bit here, just to add a bit more gold there. I can't help myself, you know that. Just put that little bit of detail on the edge of my blooms or flowers or whatever they are. Just put a little dob like that of gold with the pointy end of your skewer. Then I just draw a line through it, and then with a little bit more gold on my skewer, just going to go through that like that. Just gives this delicate little bit of edging to it, which I love. It's the trouble once you start modifying or embellishing, it becomes a bit of an obsession. And you always just want to do that extra thing. So hopefully, can you see that? Yeah, I'm just running that through. Put a bit more gold on, and then I'm just running that round like that. Start about there and run that through.
look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different, still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments, doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors, they kinda tell me what I'm thinking. I fell in love with the way we are and the way we lose it. There's something different about us, and the reason why we stay. We fly around like paper planes, they never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart. There's something different about the way we are. There's something different about us. There's something different about us. We're pouring cup after cup after cup. Yeah, it's just the way we do it. Anything just to block out the real life, real life. Yeah, we're loving the way they think we're so messed up. Even if what we're doing is bad, there's so many emotions, sharing stories that we never had. Yeah, none is real. I think we're searching for reasons not to be like them. We fly around like paper planes, they never know where we will fall.
Okay, that's enough. All right, I shall now bring you down for a close-up. Well, here we are coming down for a close-up of this lovely pink piece. Excuse the lighting from the side there, that's just the natural light coming through. But I've got the flash on so that you can see the shimmer there, which is that beautiful gold, plus there's lots of metallics in here as well. But I'm very pleased with how this has turned out. I haven't done a Dutch for ages, so very happy. Now where you can see these white parts here, I do believe that's that interference pearl colour that I used, the violet interference pearl. And so once that dries, it will really show up against the black. Another beautiful piece here. Look at these cells here. How lovely are they? And that shimmer going through. Beautiful. And my little bit of modification at the top here. Maybe it's a bit too much, but I enjoyed doing it. That's the main thing, isn't it? And here through to this little one. So I did look back on my video and I had hit the black paint that I'd put either side of my stripe just before hitting the coloured paints, and that's why that's been muted down a little bit. So the trick is to try and hit the coloured paint, not the edge, the base paint that's before your colours first when you're blowing out. But, you know, it's just practice. Another pretty little piece there too. So again, I can see that this interference colour here, it's really going to show up beautifully when this dries. And this is another lovely little petal. Some beautiful little details there in here. So all in all, I'm very happy with this, considering I haven't done one for a long time. And I didn't mix my paints up deliberately for a Dutch pour either. I just took them straight out of my bottles. So I was pretty lucky that I got a fairly fair and reasonable result. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that one today, guys. And I'll see you back here in Studio 33 in the not too distant future. Until then, stay safe. Bye-bye.